Seeker. Written by Suzana Thompson. Performed by Heather Firth. Chapter 36. The separation from Silas when he goes away to Bible college is not as difficult for me as I had anticipated, now that I have plans for our future together. For the first time since we began dating, I have faith in our relationship. The summer I spent with him was carefree and fun, without all the angst I had previously been feeling about us. I taught Silas how to ride a bike and how to swim. His swimming skills are very basic, but he knows enough to keep from drowning in deep water. He had his first taste of ice cream and felt the heat of the sun on his skin as he never has before. I got caught up in the excitement of all his firsts and brainstormed things for him to experience. We went on a picnic, and I promised him that we would go camping together after we were married. I laughed as juice dribbled down his chin after he took his first bite of watermelon. On impulse, I kissed him before he could bite into it again. The kiss tasted as sweet to me as the watermelon, and the fruit was soon forgotten by both of us as passion flared like a summer heat wave. There was a sticky residue on my shirt and bra from where Silas touched me with his hands coated with watermelon juice. He pulled away and apologized to me, but I reminded him that he was going to be my husband soon. "Not soon enough," he replied in a wry tone. Mila, it's good that I will be away at college for most of the time before we get married. It will be easier to resist temptation." Although I'm not quite ready to go all the way, I don't see any harm in making out, and I told him that. "Why do you have to resist when we're going to get married anyway?" "We must be married first," he insisted. I didn't argue, since it's not time for us to have children yet. I do want to be married before I get pregnant, mostly because I don't want to look pregnant in my wedding dress. My views on sin are not as strict as Silas's views on it. I'm against the big ones like murder, and I believe in the golden rule of treating others how you want to be treated. When it comes to sex, I believe in monogamy. Cheating is something I feel I don't have to worry about with Silas, and I certainly don't want to cheat on him. My resolve on this matter is put to the test several times in the next few months when guys at school ask me out. To my surprise, the first one to do so is Patrick, my shy classmate who told me the dark patch in my hair was cool. "I'm sorry," I tell him, "but I have a boyfriend. Did you hear about the new guy, Silas, last year?" "Yeah," he answers. "I heard he dropped out." "He did," I confirm. "But he got his GED," I add, because I could hear the disapproval in Patrick's voice. "He's going to Bible college now." That surprises him. "Why didn't he just wait and graduate from high school first?" "He felt the calling to be a priest," I explain, even as I don't understand Silas's devotion to God myself. It's really important to him. "He's going to be a priest? Aren't they not allowed to date?" Patrick asks. "Catholic priests aren't," I agree, "but they can in other religions. We're going to get married next summer," I say with the contentment I'm feeling. "But you're only a junior," he protests. "How can you get married when you're still in high school?" I hadn't considered continuing high school after I'm married, and I don't know what the rules are about that. I wouldn't want to be apart from my husband anyway, though. "I'm going to drop out and get my GED." Patrick looks very unhappy with my plans. "That's stupid," he declares. "I'm sorry, Mila, but it is." He continues after seeing my hurt expression. "What are you going to do without a high school education? You'll be stuck in minimum wage jobs." "I'll have my GED," I reiterate. "That's equivalent to a high school diploma." My words don't change his opinion since they appear not to lessen his disapproval. "What about college?" he demands. "Don't you want to go to college?" "Not really," I reply. "I wanted to be a flight attendant and travel the world." "After you marry a priest?" he criticizes me. "You're gonna take off and leave him behind?" I told him what I had wanted to do, but I wasn't sure what I wanted now, besides marrying Silas and having his children. I can see that Patrick wouldn't understand that explanation, so I say that I'll still be coming home to Silas between my travels. The truth is that I can't imagine that schedule working with raising children. I'll need a job that lets me be home more with my kids. "Why are you in such a hurry to get married?" Patrick demands. "Why can't you wait until you graduate?" "Because I want to have kids now," I think. "We want to be together," I answer simply. Patrick is disappointed in me, but it doesn't affect my confidence in my decision. Shelby is hesitant in her happiness for me when I tell her my plans. She likes the romantic aspect of me marrying Silas next summer, but she also suggests that it might be better to wait and graduate from high school. Although I was upset with Silas over dropping out, I'm now firmly resolved to do the same thing. "Will you be my maid of honor?" I ask her. "Oh," she gushes in delight at the request. "I'd love to." My newfound contentment with my life is a balm for my grief. I would otherwise have felt sorrow at having to ask someone other than Chloe to be my maid of honor. The wedding is still only a tenuous plan at this point, since my parents don't know about it yet. I haven't decided when to tell them about it, and I know they won't react favorably. Whether they will accept it after their initial outrage is unsure. I'm hoping that they will, since I am their only daughter, and Mom won't want to miss out on her daughter's wedding. It should be a happy occasion. But I'm still going through with it whether they agree or not. I'd like to have a wedding, but I'll get married at City Hall if I have to, with only Shelby there to see me get married. Getting married is the most important thing, because Silas won't have sex with me unless we're married. I can't get pregnant with his child unless we have sex, so I need to marry him. The logic of this has nothing to do with the reason most people get married, but I disregard the norm, even though I had previously insisted to Silas that he wanted to marry me for the wrong reasons. I like him well enough, and I'm sure that I'll eventually love him. I know without a doubt that I'll love our child, because I already feel joy just at the thought of the baby we'll have. The promise of that happiness is enough to sustain me through the year of waiting to marry Silas. Life feels almost perfect to me, and 4 months pass quickly as I spend my time in school and my free time with Shelby. I have become comfortable in my friendship with her, and I think of Chloe less often. Silas loves Bible college. He's all fired up about it when I talk to him, and I can tell that he'll be good at his job. He's so enthusiastic that I know he won't be droning on at the pulpit and boring people. He makes the famous names from the Bible sound like people he knows. Seeing him in person is kind of frustrating, though, because he barely even wants to kiss me anymore. "When we are married," he always begins as he keeps his physical distance from me. If he were any other guy, I'd be worried that he didn't want me anymore. But I know that he's just being Silas. We decide to announce our plans to my parents over Christmas break, but after Christmas, so we won't spoil the holiday for them if they are upset about our news. Silas comes over the day after Christmas, and I tell my parents that we need to talk to them. Justin doesn't leave the room, but I shrug it off since he should know about it too. Silas stands beside me as I speak. We are getting married next summer after I turn 18. I put the reminder of my impending status as an adult to prevent them from trying to forbid the marriage. They both stare at me in shock until Mom questions if I'm pregnant. "No," Silas answers before I do. We are virgins. Justin laughs at this statement, and Silas insists to him that it's true. I believe you, Justin assures him. It's just funny. Why is it funny? Silas asks. I glare at Justin in annoyance. It doesn't matter, I say. I'm not pregnant, I continue as I return my attention to our parents. We just want to get married. I understand that, Mom tells me. But you're too young to get married. After you finish college, I'm not going to college. I interrupt her. Oh, yes, you are, Dad exclaims. You're not going to get very far in life without a college education. Not everybody has to go to college, I argue. What kind of job do you expect to get without a college degree? He demands. You should start working a minimum wage job now and get a taste of what it will be like. Then tell me that you don't want to go to college. You can't get married before you finish high school, Mom insists, still fixated on my marriage announcement. I'm not, I agree. I'm going to drop out and get my GED. Absolutely not, Dad yells. You've lost your mind if you think we'll let you quit school. You can't stop me, I retort. I'll be 18. I will take care of Mila, Silas assures them. You're just a kid yourself, Mom tells him. Why are you rushing into marriage? Because we want to have kids, I answer for him. You have plenty of time to have kids, Mom says. But I feel like there isn't. I feel like I need to have kids as soon as possible. And it does feel like an actual need rather than just a desire. Our baby needs to be born. Dad's irate outburst distracts me from my thoughts. I'm not listening to another word of this. You are not seeing this guy anymore, and you're grounded starting today. We are taking away your cell phone privileges, too. If you want a cell phone, you'll have to get a job and pay for it yourself. He shifts his focus from me to Silas. Get out of my house, and I better not see you here again. Yes, sir, Silas responds. I'm sorry. It was not my intention to upset you. I will pray for harmony in your family. Our family was fine until you started filling my daughter's head with these fantasies, Dad retorts. You haven't got a clue what kind of responsibilities you're talking about and how expensive it is to raise kids. Neither one of you even has a job. My inheritance will... Dad cut Silas off angrily. You'll blow through that money, and then what? Get your head out of the clouds and think realistically. No. He stays Silas as he opens his mouth to reply. Go think on your own time. I mean it. Get out of my house. Silas nods. Yes, sir. He looks at me with a regretful expression and turns to leave. No, stay here, Mila. Dad orders me as I start to follow Silas. I glare at him before calling out loudly to Silas. I'll see you next summer on my birthday. Dad looks like he's going to explode in anger, but his expression hardens as stubbornly as mine has. I know that our standoff won't end anytime soon, and neither will a parental house arrest he's enforced. I really won't be able to see Silas again until next summer, but I'm still going to marry him then.